fight world. It's the mighty mean Joe Frazier. You are now tuned in to another episode of Fist Physics. Today we're here to talk about the biggest fight that can be made in boxing in the year 2016. Saw this conversation pop up on social media a few days ago, so I decided to address it. Um, to me, the biggest fight 2016 that can be made, and we're talking about financially. Financially, the biggest fight that the biggest fight that could pull in the most revenue this year is Saul Canelo Alvarez. That's one name out there. And I know a lot of people are going to automatically jump over to Triple G, my man Gennady Golovkin, but that is not the biggest fight that can be made in 2016. Triple G, I'm sorry, just doesn't have the fan basis to keep the buys up. I mean, his last fight was, I think, like 900,000 buys or something, which is really not good. I mean, it's not bad either, but it's not tremendously great or record breaking or anything like that. Manny Pacquiao, throw that name out there, Team Pacquiao. So that to me would be the biggest fight that could be made financially this year, 2016. Saul Canelo Alvarez versus Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. And I know a lot of boxing fans off bat are going to say, you know what, competitively, this fight doesn't make any sense. But let's go over the stats, and I'll let you guys make a decision for yourselves. Now, let's just take a review at Manny Pacquiao. His record is 57-6 with 38 KOs. He's standing at 5'5" with a 67-inch reach. His last, most notable fight was against the great Hall of Famer Floyd Mayweather, which he lost. And this fight coming up right now with Timothy Bradley, I mean, it was supposed to be his last fight, but they're saying that he's going to still continue his career, so hopefully down the road we'll get to see this actual fight, maybe like September, November, sometime around there. Saul Alvarez, just take a review of his stats, 46-1-1, taking a loss to Floyd Mayweather. I mean, who hasn't lost to Floyd Mayweather? He's standing at 5'9" with a 70-inch reach, 32 KOs out of that 46 win record. Manny Pacquiao is currently represented by Top Rank, Bob Arum Promotions, and Saul Alvarez is one of the last guys on Golden Boy Promotions. Now, competitively, this would be a complete mismatch. True. And it would really depend on whether or not Manny can make it past this new Tim Bradley with Teddy Atlas in the corner. I'll actually have a breakdown for that too that I'll be posting later. A fight between these two gentlemen, Team Pacquiao would definitely be the A side, which means they would dominate the negotiations over the catch weight. And for the people who don't know, Manny actually came in or rehydrated to 154 for Floyd Mayweather. So he can definitely come close to that 155 mark that Saul loves so much. I don't think that they would agree on 155. I think Manny and Freddie would probably want Saul to come down to as low as 152. Try to drain him a little bit, get a little edge for Team Pacquiao. Now, Team Pacquiao actually owes Golden Boy in De La Hoya for what happened on December 6, 2008. For those who don't know, that was the passing, what was built as the passing of the torch fight, where De La Hoya met Pacquiao for the last fight of his career. De La Hoya agreed to a catch weight of 142 pounds, which Manny did not make. Manny actually came in at 145 pounds. And this was very hard for De La Hoya because at that time in his career, he was actually hovering between 154 and 160. So he was technically a middleweight who was forced to come down to light welterweight for this fight. Manny dominated the complete fight. He put the beats on Hoya. De La Hoya's face ended up looking like hamburger meat. I believe De La Hoya retired on the stool in the 8th round. That fight within itself generated 1.25 million buys, which was about $125 million. A year before that, though, Mayweather fought De La Hoya, and it was 2.4 million buys. But Mayweather was much more of an attraction at that time than Manny Pacquiao. Now right now we're just crunching the numbers over how many buys Pacquiao has, big paying events Manny Pacquiao has been involved in. So Maypac actually generated 4.6 million buys. That was over $500 million, probably the most lucrative fight of boxing history. Mayweather Canelo was 2.2 million buys, which also broke a lot of records. It was 150 million they pulled in for there. So looking at those numbers right there, I'm going to say that Manny's good for at least 1.2 million buys, and Canelo himself is good for between a million and and a half buys. So this fight right here would generate about 125 to 150 million dollars. That's good money. It's great money. Pacquiao, it could be dubbed as another passing of the torch fight. Pacquiao will walk away with a lot of money in his pocket. I'm pretty sure that him and Top Rank would insist on a 60-40 split. There's no reason to give this kid more than 40% when you're bringing in the big names here. The actual competitiveness of this fight. Manny's legs are completely shot. You know, that bounce in his step is not there, has not been there for many years. Doesn't seem like the power has carried up past light welterweight. And I'd definitely be picking Canelo to win this fight by KO. And a fight between Canelo and Manny would actually make the Golovkin fight that much more bigger, because some of the fans from Manny's side are going to jump over to Canelo's side if they're not familiar with him at all. And I think going into the Golovkin fight, you could definitely count on Saul for pulling in probably 1.5 to maybe about 1.8, almost 2 million buys by himself with this fight right here. This is a great fight financially. Not a great fight for Manny Pacquiao fans, because I'm saying that Canelo will definitely knock Manny out. But it's a great financial opportunity for Golden Boy and Top Rank to milk these cows one last time. All right, this is Fist Physics, the Mighty Mean Joe Frazier. Hit me up in the comments section. Let me know how you feel about this potential super fight between Saul Canelo Alvarez and Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao. Hopefully we get to see it in the fall of 2016. This is a big money fight, probably the biggest money fight that's out there this year. All right, fight fans.